Besties, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about the saga of my plane ticket. And we have some beautiful Turkish bread, which I've toasted up in the oven, some beautiful chopped salad, and some wings. Some are saucy and some are just seasoned. So let's get into it. So right now, if you're watching this, I may or may not be in Egypt already, and this may be a very old video or a slightly old video. Um, but back in time, before I, you know, change timelines, here I am in my house in Queensland, Australia. And yeah, I got the money to buy my ticket that I planned to buy. And I found the perfect price and I was very happy. And I checked the visas and stuff like that for e visas and, checked through what type I would need. But when I purchased my ticket, and I did purchase my ticket, I purchased it with a company called, I think it's called China Eastern. I'm like back to front dyslexic or whatever. So I think it's called China Eastern Airways or something, whichever one's in Brisbane. Anyway, so I booked with them because like they're the cheapest that I could find, and I'm not fussy, and I just want economy. And yeah, I paid for the ticket, but I did it through Flight Centre because when I tried to do it on the China Eastern site, like each time I would choose the day and the time and it says it's available, it would either say now it's not available or, there's a problem processing it even though I had the money. So I went from the China Eastern site to Flight Centre site online. And it's like maybe it's $100 more. So I guess that's the service fee. I don't know. And I'm like, oh yay, there's the flight I wanted on the date and time I wanted. From China Eastern Airways through Flight Centre. And so I booked it online. I paid for the ticket. Okay, it was a return ticket, which you have to have a return ticket to get into Egypt or they won't let you in. I thought it'll meet the visa standard that I thought that I needed, and super cheap, super cheap, 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 cheap. And I thought, yes, I can do it right now. Yeah, paid for it, and then I thought, okay, cool, I've done it. I'm gonna go apply for my e-visa now because you've got to do it in that order if you apply for an e-visa. So I go on the e-visa site again, and this time I make an account, click in, and go to choose the visa. And all the options were for 30 days. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oops. Because I booked a return flight, which was it was like 88 days instead of 90 days, because I thought I could get a visa for 90 days. Because the way I read it was you can get a visa for 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or a year, depending on your visa. And originally I thought I needed a specific visa to get in, or I had to do the marriage visa or the, spouse visa or whatever, or, the intention to marry visa. And they've got like different, there's business visa and there's just tourist visa. And I thought because I'm doing this, I'm supposed to have this type of visa and that would give me this amount of days if I read it right. And I'm like, and obviously I didn't read it right. So I paid for my ticket. And I'm like, oh no, and then I did more research, even though I've done research again and again. I just somehow, not collected that one in my brain. Yeah, so I booked an 88-day trip instead of a 30-day trip because it has to be like 28 or 30 days. So I paid for the ticket and now I'm like, oh shiznit, it's $300 to cancel that ticket and then I'd have to book another one and I won't have enough money. So immediately, I ring Flight Centre and I'm like, hi, bestie. I think I'm going to have a mental breakdown because I just fucked up. Anyway, so it wasn't even embarrassing because the person that I spoke to was super nice and super understanding. Like they laid out the law. They're like, we can't do this and we can't do that, but this is what's supposed to happen. And they were like, if you cancel, there's a $300 fee to them, to the actual China Eastern as well. There's the processing fee of 150. There's like, and I'm like, and I'm ringing up the dollar signs in my head and I'm going, there goes my ticket. I'm not going to be able to go to Egypt. I'm fucked. Like I've made this huge mistake and I'm going to have to go tell my handsomest husbando that, it's going to take me months to save up again. And I literally, I feel like I'm going to cry. I literally started like weeping on the phone, like just quietly, because, the person was like putting me on hold, going and talking to their manager, putting me on hold, going and checking this or that. And I didn't realize that they could actually hear me when I'm on hold. And I'm like crying silently. But I'm like crying hard, but silently. And I was like choking on my own snot. Like, that's how upset I was. Because I told my handsomest husbando that I was buying a ticket and I'd be there soon. Anyway. Oh my God, I popped out a tear. Bad bitches don't cry. So let's just give it a minute. Oh my God, I was so upset. And I wasn't even crying like this. I was crying like a maniac, but like silently, but then choking on my own snot. Like I was crying that hard. Anyway, and then each time the person came back on the phone, they're like, hello, are you there? And I'm like, oh yes, I'm fine. And each time I'm like, oh yes, I'm fine. Choking on my own snot because I'm crying so much. It was so embarrassing. And they were like, listen, darling, at Flight Center, we like to help people, and you've got options. And my manager said that we can allow you a grace period. And I'm like, what's a grace period? What do you mean? What do you mean, bestie? And like, I actually called them bestie, and they're like, oh, well, bestie. And I'm like, they just called me bestie. I love that. But anyway, then they were like, look, the manager's not going to allow it for too long, but we've made arrangements. If you'd like to cancel the ticket, you can get a refund. We won't charge you anything. We won't charge you any fees that we're supposed to charge. It'll just take, a certain amount of time to go back into your bank account, like 10, 14 days minimum. Could be longer, could be, 30 days, whatever. And I'm just like, wow, that's so generous. But then I started crying like more, because then I'm like, but I told handsomest husband I'd be like coming like this week if I could, like another month, like. But then I thought, don't cry, biatch, because I'm going to save, like, I'm not being charged anything for being an idiot, basically, and I shouldn't complain. So I'm like, oh, are you sure you can't just find another China Eastern one that has like a 30-day gap or less? Because they looked and they couldn't find one. And then, I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's further along. I just, I really just need to catch this flight. I really need to get there, And, oh God, I feel sick just telling the story. Anyway, I gotta have a bite of food. Like, I'm nauseous. I haven't eaten. I'm just feeling like crazy. Actually, I ate a croissant. Okay? Don't judge me. It was one of these gross supermarket ones. It wasn't a real one like my granny used to bake, okay? But it was okay. It was tasty. I gave some of it to Lola because, she loves croissants. Dippy dippy. Take a bite, besties. Bismillah. Now I'm just stress eating. Oh my God. was thinking about it. Anyway, that was tasty. Let's tell a little bit more about the story. So, God, like this, it was just traumatic. Like, I'm not joking. From the time I tried to book the China Eastern flight, because I was like on their site on and off for a few hours just trying to book a ticket. So by the time I got to Flight Centre, I was like, got it, grab it, book it, do it. Yes, it's paid for. Like, I was so like, okay, I'm on a mission. I've been doing this for friggin' 6 hours. Anyway, so the lovely person at Flight Centre was like, listen, darling, bestie, would you like a refund? I'm like, what are the other options if you can't find a flight? And she goes, they go and speak to the manager again and comes back and goes, look, if you want, we can hold the money, which includes the service fee, if you want to continue to book with us another time, like any time at all. And I'm like, just listening. And then she's like, but probably the refund is best if you need a cheap flight, blah, blah, blah. Because she's like, oh, all the other flights are like at least $500 more, with a different airline, Etihad. And I'm like, and she's like, this is peak season. And I'm like, I didn't realize it was peak season. But anyway, I've still got to get there. So then they're like, yeah, would you like us to hold the money and you can spend it anytime on any of the flights, and it would include the service fee for whatever booking. You don't have to double pay the service fee of the $100 or whatever. And I was just like, because there was $100 difference between, I don't know if that's what their amount of service charge is, but that was the price difference between if I booked it with China Eastern directly. So that's why I'm saying it's the fee. Anyway, so I'm like, look, you've been on the phone to me while I've been choking on my own snot, okay? And burning my face with acid tears for the last 50 minutes. Not 15, 50. You've been helping me. You're a bad bitch. I respect you. And she's like, oh, thank you. I just want to brighten your day. And I'm just like, thank you. You have. And bestie, I want to stick with Flight Centre because, basically I'm a mental case and I can't even book a flight, and you guys are so helpful. So please, can you hold on to the money? Can I just confirm, can I access the money to book the flight at any time? And they go, oh, look, when you do it, you have to phone up to book the flight so that they can add that to your, to pay towards the flight so that you just pay the gap because they hold it. And I'm like, and it's accessible anytime. She goes, anytime that they're available on the phone to make flight bookings, that's when it's available and that's when I can do it. And I'm like, that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me, bestie. Pardon me. Anyway, I'm getting excited. I'm like choking on my own spit. So yeah, 1 minute I was like, woo, I'm going to Egypt. And the next minute I was like, I have done the biggest royal fuck up in my entire life. That would be a lie. I fuck up all the time, man. This is just like my nature. I miss the small details, or I hyper focus on other details, and then I just kind of like miss the forest for the trees, So, a few days from now, at the time of this filming, I will have some money coming in because I took out a small loan. Oh God, I've got to pay this money back. Anyway, so when that happens, I'll be phoning Flight Centre and booking my flight, but I won't be going with China Eastern, unfortunately, because all the China Eastern ones tended to be like, from what I could find, if you book it through Flight Centre, it's like you have to get like 40, 50, 60 days minimum to be able to get those cheap flights with that company. And I don't know if it's because they're all bought up and it's just peak season, or if that's just so that you're more encouraged to book with other companies that are more available. I don't know. So I won't even question why, but the flights that I'm looking at are all Etihad. If I'm saying that wrong, tough titties, okay? So Etihad would be flying from Brisbane, Australia to Melbourne, Australia. Now, sometimes it's Etihad and sometimes it's Virgin Airlines for that part. Irrelevant, it's still within Australia. And then the next part of the journey is from Melbourne, Australia to Abu Dhabi. And then from Abu Dhabi to Egypt. So it's either, Etihad all the way, or Virgin for the first one to get to Melbourne, Virgin Airlines. Hi, Richard Branson. And then Etihad the rest of the way on different planes. So, I don't know. I've been to Melbourne before. And I'm not going to leave the airport, but, it still feels like home because it's Australia. So I'm feeling pretty keen. I'm feeling pretty confident to go to Melbourne. It's very quick. It's like 2-hour flight or something. It's like nothing. I don't know. And then when I go to Abu Dhabi, I think that's probably the part I'm a bit nervous about because it's a longer part of the trip and I just don't know anything about Abu Dhabi. Like nothing. Like, I think it's a Muslim country. I mean, I'm going to look stupid saying this. I don't know anything about Abu Dhabi. So if you do, please let me know in the comments. Tell me about, I mean, I'm not going to leave the airport. And my husband asked me not to leave the airport. He wants me to come straight to Egypt. Fair enough. And realistically, even if I wanted to leave the airport and have a look around, I can't because after that first, 2 airplanes, Melbourne to Abu Dhabi, my leg injury is going to be so bad. I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be begging for morphine. But unfortunately, I can't take painkillers. So I'm just going to be in an excruciating amount of pain sitting at the Abu Dhabi airport with my walking frame. But yeah, the flight from Abu Dhabi to Egypt is like, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it's just like 3.5 hours. So, it's a really long flight, but the biggest leg of the flight is from Melbourne to Abu Dhabi. And then Abu Dhabi to Egypt or Brisbane to Melbourne, they're pretty comparable. It's just the main flying to Abu Dhabi that's the biggest length of the trip. But yeah, there's 1 billion flights like that available with Etihad that are all soon and within my budget once I receive the loan that I applied for, which I'm going to. And yeah, I'll just be bam, bitch. I'll be booking that plane because I already booked a ticket and I fuggled it up. I muggle-fuggled it. Like, oh my God, like almost died. Legit. Like, I was like, chest pain, bro. Like, is this anxiety? Is this a heart attack? Like, this is too much for me. I want to go see my lover boy. So, it was a bit much. It was a bit much. Let's eat a piece of chicken. God, just thinking about it, it's just insane. Let's have this red chili sauce is the red hot thick chili sauce, Frank's brand. Best thing about a lettuce leaf is that you can use it like a napkin because it's moist. Yeah. Stress eating. Mm. Mm. Finger licking good, babe. Dippy dippy. Mm. I do like the saucy ones. I've got like a, yeah, this one looks good. Are you a leg person or a wing person? My handsomest husbando told me that he's a leg person. He's a leg guy. He likes chicken legs. Mm. I like chicken wings. I think because like I like the skin better than the meat. Does that make sense? To me, it's more flavorsome. Also, they're good for dippy dippy. Mm. God, just the. There's been people in my comments. Yes, you. How dare you? Not everyone, just some people. And they're like, I bet she's never going to Egypt. Blah, blah, blah. She's manipulating us and mocking Islam. Excuse me. You don't have the right to comment on how I practice my religion, so you can just mind your own business. That's the first thing. Secondly, who made you a sheikh? Nobody. That's right. 0 qualifications. Mind your business. So just because I've got a bubbly personality doesn't mean I have to be boring like you. Shut up. What an idiot. People irritate me, honestly. I don't mean everyone. I mean just like people that like mock people for no reason. Why? Just go shit in the woods or something. Oh my god, that reminds me. Because everybody would have seen it if you're a foodie beauty fan. Have you seen the episode when she's, I think it was a live video where she said, this is before, modern times. She's like, I'm going to go poop in the woods. I honestly, that was like my favorite thing I'd ever heard on YouTube in my entire life. Reminded me of that. Oh my god. But it's also an Australian saying, so I guess people will think I'm talking about her, so I thought I'd better mention. But I didn't mean I wasn't talking about her. I was, I was talking about it as an Aussie saying, but still, it's funny. Um, oh gosh. So where did I get up to in my story? Oh yeah, I'm waiting for this loan to come through, and it's been approved. Just gonna wait for it. So yeah, then I can book it, and then I can go. But at the time of filming this, I might already be in Egypt. It depends when I make it public, because I upload, but I privatize my videos until I want them to be released. Release the hounds. Eventually, after a few more of these old videos, you'll see me on an Etihad flight. Multiple flights. I'm gonna film that shit like there's no tomorrow, bro. By the time I get to Egypt, my phone will be flat. No, I'm not gonna buy a power bank. I'll just be like, I was considering getting a power bank if I was gonna go through China, but now I'm going through Abu Dhabi. I'm just like, yeah, nah, I won't bother. I don't know. My handsomest husbando said that Etihad is good. He said that's a good. I'm like, what do you think about Etihad? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's good. He speaks in this like really deep. He's like, yes, Etihad good. What did I do to deserve such a handsomest husbando? My God. Like, honestly, when I get there, I'm not going to be a pick-me-sha. Like, I hope he actually likes me. And if that's good, and if he does, and if everything goes ahead, then I'm gonna, girl, I'm gonna treat him like a king. You have no idea. No idea. Mary's got no idea how awesome my guy is. You know how you just know? Like, I was like, why would you leave your beautiful Australia to go to Egypt to be with a man? Because we got married, so why wouldn't you? I don't understand, guys. Like, I'm not mocking you. I'm just like, how do you not understand? And what's wrong with Egypt? Egypt sounds amazing. Like, sounds really cool. Dang, this bra strap. I tell you what. Yeah, no. If he picks me in person, if he's like, yeah, let's go. Let's go home, baby. If he's like that with me, I'm just gonna be like, this man is king. This man is my king. I'm gonna treat him like a king, honestly. Like, I'll be honest, I can be a real psycho, but I don't know. There's something amazing about him. I can just tell already without even meeting him. And yeah, honestly, if he picks me, if he honestly picks me when he sees me in person, I'm gonna treat him like a king. I'm gonna do it. Do everything to make him happy. Everything. I swear it. Yeah. So so yeah, I'm looking forward to booking that flight. And no, I'm not trolling. I don't know what do I say to like make people believe me that I'm going to Egypt, or is it not even like people like don't. Why do you have to prove it to them? Why? Mm. You know what it is, GPDP? It's that I'm a really kind of trusting person. So, like, if somebody says I'm being dishonest, like, I'm fully insulted. Whoops. Didn't mean to spit a bit of food out. Yeah, like, because it means something to me to be honest. So, it bothers me. Like, if someone's like, you're a liar, I'm like, why are they calling me that? Like, I'm anything but that. Do you know what I mean? Mm. Yum. Chile, chile. Well, it's getting. I'm feeling the burn. Mm. Mm. Ah, she's spicy. Mm. Mm. Oh my god. At some stage, I've got to like, hang on. I just have a little bit of bread because spicy. Mm. Um. Mm. Coffee. Dippy dippy. Mm. So, yeah, why is everybody like ragging on me because I'm not in Egypt yet? Like, it's not like I've got a lot of money. I mean, I'm doing my bestest, and obviously, I'm not doing it for anybody but me and my handsomest husbando. So, like, if I want to rush there, and if I can, I will. But if there's hold-ups, there's hold-ups. I mean, dippy dippy. We dip spiced bread into coffee in my family. This is our tradition. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. It's an old breakfast food. Especially nice if you have an egg on the side. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Runny nose. So yeah, I can't tell you in how many videos it'll be that I'll be in Egypt, because at the time of filming, I'm not in Egypt. Time of posting, I might be in Egypt, and I guess like you'll find out eventually. Because everybody that creates content is going to have, like, strategically, they're going to have a backlog of videos. You have to, because what if you get sick for 2 weeks and you can't film? You have to have videos. Mm. I made a mess. Made a big mess. What is that on my... I don't know what that was. Probably slobber from Lola when she gave me cuddles. I did wash this shirt, but I know at the point of time of filming, like where I am right now at filming, I'm thinking to myself, like, what's it going to take to actually get to Egypt? What's it actually going to take? Because, like, we've been together for like over a year, and I'm just counting it since we've been religiously married. I'm not counting it, when we're in the talking stage before we're married. I don't count that. I don't, because to me, a valid relationship is a marriage. That's just my personal value or belief or whatever. So, everyone's different. Maybe they're like, count it from the minute they saw the person. Everyone's got their own standards, but like, me and him have been together for over a year. We got married in June last year. And, it's past June this year. I won't tell you the date that I'm filming, but it's past June. So, I know, like, the excitement to go has gone, and I just feel so overwhelmed with stress trying to make it happen. And I guess I just don't need the negativity of the people that are like saying nasty stuff to me about it. Like, not cool, guys. Just because somebody is on social media doesn't mean you can just bash them. Like, have some, decorum. Have some decorum, ladies. As for the people mentioning and saying that, I'm mocking Islam, no, I'm not. I'm a Muslim. Everybody practices their religion the way they feel is right. And I've seen on a couple of videos people saying that I'm doing that. And no, I'm not. Okay. Like, there's some people that do all their prayers. There's some people that wear a scarf but show their hair. There's some people that wear a scarf and they don't show their hair or their face. Like, there's a big, variance of practice. And, there's even differences in sects within the religion, and whether different sects recognize other sects as being part of the religion or not. There's a big difference in people's practices, whether they're Shia or whether they're Sunni, or somebody might be a Salafi. I mean, I look at Islam as a, what's the word, like, there's a sliding scale of not how religious people are, but how people identify and practice within the religion. That's what I wanted to say. There's a sliding scale. Like, a lot of people are having a go at me, and they're like, "Oh, you're not wearing the clothes right, or your behavior's not right, or you're showing your aura because you're wearing nail polish." Like, and they're smoking cigarettes, they're drinking alcohol. And again, I'm not judging them, but they're sitting there judging me, saying I'm not practicing enough. Like, are you serious? You don't know how much I practice. You don't know how much I pray. You don't know what's in my heart. You don't know. You see the cover of the book. That's all you see. You don't see inside the book. You don't know me personally. You might think you know me because I'm on YouTube, but there's very few people that actually know me well. So where do you get off making a judgment about how I'm practicing my religion? Like, just mind your business. Nobody asked you. Like, nobody asked you. It's none of your business. A person's religion is between them and God. That's it. That's it. Nobody asked you. So, get a hobby, bitch. Anyway, you know, yeah, I'm anticipating booking the new flight ticket. But I'm also like, I'm overwhelmed. And I'll tell you why else I'm overwhelmed. Oh my God. I have never been overseas. Okay. Now, most people go, what's the big deal? Don't be a baby. Well, I don't know. Like, I can only speak for myself. As somebody that has a physical disability, and I'm a female, and I'm traveling alone overseas, where I've never been before, I just feel a little bit nervous. I mean, I'm the person who doesn't even take a taxi locally in my own area unless somebody is with me. Like, I don't do that. I don't go out on my own. You know, if I go out, I'll take my daughter. My daughter will come with me in a taxi or an Uber or whatever. I never go out alone. Never, ever. And it's not that I'm, you know, it's not like I couldn't physically do it. I just, no. You know, I mean, also my husband said it's good if my daughter comes with me if I'm going to leave the house and, you know, get his permission and stuff. But that's pretty normal with a lot of marriages that are Islamic marriages in a lot of places. So yeah, whatever. But when I do actually leave the house, I'm not used to being on my own. You know, when you're physically disabled, you find yourself in a place and then you're like, oh God, there's only stairs, there's no ramp here. Or there's lifts, but they're 500 meters down and I can walk 20 meters without having to stop. So, you know, the idea of this is absolutely frightening to me. And part of it is, I know that as soon as within an hour of leaving the house, my leg will just be useless. And even when I use the walking frame to get between planes, I'm going to be dragging my leg because, like, it's so damaged, I usually need to elevate it. And I can't elevate it on the plane, and it's like long haul flight. I may need assistance to get off the plane. I mean, thankfully my walking frame has a seat on it that my butt fits in, thank God. And I can like scoot along using my leg and go backwards if I have to. But just, yeah, it's frightening. Like, I'm a little bit scared. I won't lie. If I was able-bodied, or if somebody was coming with me, then I would feel like, yay, this is fun. But because I'm not able-bodied, I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen if this happens? What happens if there's a transit bus between, this side of the airport and that side of the airport? What if there's 6 steps and I can't do steps to get on the bus? Like, I'm petrified of the worst case scenario. And I know people at airports are generally pretty helpful, but wow. Yeah. When I was younger, like actually not that long ago, a few years back before I injured my leg, and I could just walk anywhere. I preferred to walk everywhere. I preferred to go out on my own. I preferred to just take a walk. If I could drive to the shops, I'd just and take a car or whatever. I wouldn't. I would walk. I would walk. I would walk everywhere. I loved it. That was my thing, was walking and jogging. Um, so to become like have a physical disability with my leg and do something adventurous like traveling to the other side of the world, which would naturally come as being something that I would like and enjoy. Instead of feeling joy, I'm feeling fear. Yeah. And no, I don't want to arrange a wheelchair. I just I've got the walking frame and I can sit on it and scoot. So yeah. It's just the unknown, and what if this, and what if I can't make it here in time, because I'm too slow with my leg, or I'm supposed to be taking morphine but I don't take any painkillers. How am I going to survive the trip? Like, the pain's going to be building every minute because my leg will be down. Like, obviously a first class ticket would fix that for $10,000, but that's not in my budget. So so no, we'll just be doing economy and pain. Economy and pain. Lots of pain. I hope I don't faint. Oh my God, the other day, this is embarrassing. I was in the little ladies' room, okay? Thank God this was at home. My leg was giving me so much pain. I fainted on the toilet. I fainted. That's right. So, like, after that fun experience, I'm like, yeah, I've got no pain relief and I'm petrified and I'm traveling alone and I'm just a big scaredy cat. Any recommendations? And no, I don't want to go to the doctor because they won't. I mean, they will give me pain relief, but I can't take it. Like, I just can't take it. Yeah. It's another medical condition. I can't. It's too dangerous for me. So it's a scary, scary trip for me. I wish I could just walk through a door and be there. Open a portal and I'm in Egypt. That would be cool. But yeah, no, apparently I just gotta fly there. And I don't mean on a broomstick. Anyway, yeah, I didn't eat much because I'm on a diet. Love you, besties. See you in Egypt.